Slug fences and collars came to protect your garden, but do they actually work? Can't slugs just dig under them or climb over them? And is there a better alternative? I tested them in two experiments, and you should take a look at what I found out. I've tested other barriers too, and I've ranked them from best to worst. And I give you that information out for free on my website, which I'll link to in the comments below. You can also find more videos by subscribing and searching through my channel where I review lots of different slug barriers. So for the first experiment, I used some slug tongs to place slug between the lettuce plants, some protected by collars and some not, to see how much of a difference they actually made in protecting your plants, basically. So you'll soon see why I rate the collars as good overall for blocking slugs. But they're not foolproof and I don't give them an excellent rating. And I'll show you shortly why they don't get excellent and also how you can improve the effectiveness of slug collars and learn how they eventually fail, which is useful again for improving them. So in experiment number one, the slugs took so long to get past the collars, with lettuce eventually start breaking down within the collar while I waited. So I eventually stopped recording. There are several types of overhanging barrier, metal or plastic, fences or collars, but they all work in roughly the same way. Plastic ones are cheaper, but you need to be aware they can blow away, so it could be worth investing in some higher quality options. You can find some recommendations on my website, which again I'll link in the comments, and like I said earlier, you can find my free PDF containing a ranking score for all the barriers, which is included in my 3 steps to slug free guide. As you just saw, a slug nearly made it over the collar, and here you'll see them actually going over the barrier. And at the end, I'll show you how to improve slug collars. Interestingly, with this barrier, slugs don't seem to bury underneath it. As long as the collar is partially buried and the ground is compact, it doesn't seem to be an issue with this type of barrier. And here another slug makes it over. This part of the video makes them look like they're totally ineffective, but you've got to remember that only 4 or 5 slugs made it over in what was probably a week's worth of time-lapse footage. And there's only a few barriers that I'd actually rate as more effective than an overhanging barrier. So now I'm going to show you how to make them more effective as a barrier. Yes, combine it with multiple barriers. Here's 2 overhanging barriers working together, but you can select a barrier from my list of effective barriers, which I share on my website, as shown at the end. Using 2 barriers together increases their effectiveness, and if you're wondering if you can use copper or eggshells or garlic spray together with an overhanging barrier, go through my YouTube videos or website to find the best quality slug prevention information. If you found this video useful, if you could hit like, subscribe and turn notifications on, that would help me spread this good slug knowledge.